I'm struggling with a particular sin in my life. Can you provide some encouragement for me? Yes. The fact that you've asked this question is actually a really good thing because you feel convicted about that sin. And once you come to Jesus, that doesn't mean that you're going to just stop struggling with sin. Matter of fact, I say this sometimes when I share the gospel with people that, once you receive Jesus, it's not like your life is going to become perfect, but it's definitely going to become better. You still struggle with sin after you receive Christ, but the wonderful thing is you feel much more guilty about that sin because you realize that you worship a holy God and you don't want to be impure before Him. So we fall into these traps of repeatedly getting re-saved as we fall into sin and temptation over and over again. I don't know if you ever did this. I've done this where I remember, especially when I was a teenager, I would get re-saved a lot. Where the truth is, once you receive Christ, you always have Jesus. Okay, but I would say, did I really receive Christ? And I keep falling into this sin. And if I really have received Jesus, I wouldn't keep falling into this sin. And that's just made up mumbo jumbo. Actually, when we fall into sin and we continually feel guilty about it, and we are fighting against it with all of our might, we need to be tapping into the power of God through that and saying, God, please help me to overcome this sin in my life. And I hope that you can be encouraged today, because if you are fighting against this, that's a beautiful sign, because that shows that you're fighting for the cause of Christ, for the purity of the gospel. Any dead fish can float downriver, but it requires a live fish to fight upstream. So if you are struggling in sin and you're really in need of encouragement today, it's great news that you are fighting with all of your might. But the key thing is to remember to tap into the power of God and not just try to fight it in your own flesh.